This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. These two teams matching up for the second time this year. Their first meeting back in October, week 6. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. From the 29, Wilson. Dances. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. Leading them out, it's the 3rd-year man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. The Chargers at 15-1 on the year, and they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could rock.
He's got a man complete. A big play there for L.A. And even 70 yards. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next
touchdown. CeeDee Lamb with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chargers will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. To return it, Darius Phillips. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Wilson's throw caught here by Dulcich. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Now Wilson. Right side, it's Hamler pulling it in. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Throwing is Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. Now he's loose down the left sideline. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. For Jerry Jeudy, this is why he was a first-round pick back in 2020. The route running, the hands are great, but the speed, that sets him apart. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Boswell's kick is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Charger drive about to get going. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you sort of notice to the rest of the league, we're the team you need to deal with. You're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. If they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Here comes Darius Phillips out of the end zone. Denver's offense now set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Wilson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. And this is going to be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Hard to forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone.
Touchdown, Chargers! A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. So it's all down to this, Week 18 on the NFL schedule. And that means that once we sort things out, we'll all be set for our second ever Super Wild Card weekend, which I think everyone agrees was a runaway success last year. We've got 2 games coming up on Saturday, 3 more on Sunday, and then we'll put a bow on it Monday night. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Joey Bosa just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Looking to throw. Wilson. Now he'll go deep down the middle. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. In this weather, any big play in the passing game, that's just a bonus, right?
It certainly is, but oftentimes offenses think in clement weather plays to their advantage because you know where you're going on offense. Defenders have to react, and they often...
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. And the Chargers are going to have it here just past the 25.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 109 yards for him now on the ground as he goes over the century mark here. I'd say he's ready for the playoffs ahead, no doubt. First carry for Austin Eckler, who's a Colorado native. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Yikes, terrible kick, headed straight for the sidelines. Denver's offense ready to go again. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that Plague did on the last one.
From the 31, Wilson. That's taken in by Dulcich. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. There's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On second down, this is Edmonds. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. On fourth down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his left.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and long. Herbert. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson.
And the Broncos are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we have reached halftime intermission with the visiting Chargers.
Only 30 minutes left in the regular season, and everybody's excited for the playoffs, so we're just going to forget the halftime show and get back to the football.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Chargers getting ready to go here to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. His throw incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Herbert off of play action.
That is caught by Lamb. He'll get it inside the 20.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Play action. It's Herbert. Whipping one into Allen. That's complete.
And the Chargers are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Pollard going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chance.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 24. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run.
Phillips now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
Well, here we sit, week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down. Now Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Wilson. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Joey Bosa picks up his second sack of the afternoon. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Fielded at about the 28. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to 41. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Past the 20, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's got it. Touchdown. Gerald Everett, the 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Set to take over, the Broncos offense trots back out. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting...
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 7 now. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Flush to his right.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and I'm going to tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
141 yards rushing for him in this one, and he is drawing ever closer to a 2,000-yard season.
Here we go.
Now it's Herbert. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Baron Browning coming in from that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. On second down, it's Pollard. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A very valuable 9-yard pickup, but now they're set up a little better here for 3rd and goal. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 25-yard line. Flushed out right. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like, that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now his.
So how about the season, Charles, if he continues to put together? That's now 25 rushing touchdowns on the year. That's getting into some very rarefied territory.
Yeah, it made you and I do a little extra homework prior to this one in anticipation, because that one moves him past John Riggins with 24. He draws even with Emmitt Smith who had 25 in 1995. Next up, Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander with 27. And the guy on top, LT, LaDainian Tomlinson, the Hall of Famer, he had 28 in 2006.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the
pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Joey Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
And the LA offense ready for this next possession. This has really just been a lopsided affair. What a performance they put on, and now they get the football back here with a big lead in the fourth quarter. You know, in the past, we might be discussing dinner plans, talking about steak and sushi, whatever the case is, CD. This ball game is pretty much well in the books.
Yeah, we really could have started bringing up dinner a long time ago if we wanted to, partner. And I think a few of the guys out in the field already making plans for the evening.
They're going to pass here with Herbert. Swinging this out for Pollard. Oh, nice move. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. They have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play.
He's got a man. Complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point put through by Boswell as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And this one has gone pretty well to form. They've come in, had little problem thus far, and now they'll try to polish things off in the fourth. With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Herbert on first down now. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage. And time is going to expire in this football game.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball.